Okay. So we're up against Elliot Dragon, who is the winner of StreamLeague 7. He's playing Blue-White Control, and not just any Blue-White Control, he's playing the Blue-White Control list that has a bunch of ways to cheat a Lotus Field into play. So his deck, I think, is a little better teched for the Control Mirror in Game 1. But I don't think this is unwinnable by any stretch of the imagination. Our Wrath is probably dead, and both of our Wraths are probably dead, honestly. So this could be a mulligan. But we do have a Counterspell and a Shark Typhoon, which are some of our better cards. It's also possible he plays out one of his Strict Proctors on 2 into our Anger of the Gods, but he's probably a little too smart for that. I think I'm going to... I keep this. I don't want to mulligan a functional hand here. It could be that mulliganing this is right, knowing what our opponent is on. Like, these two cards are probably dead. Okay, well, immediately punished. I guess he doesn't even have to worry about removal so much. I mean, I guess he probably will play around it. No, he won't. He just jams it right into the board. Doesn't care about our Lightning Helix. And it feels like Lotus Field is coming, and we're already in serious trouble. Good stuff. Being on the draw sucks. So this is an open deckless tournament, obviously. So he knows that we've got nothing in game 1 that can possibly screw with his Lotus Field plan here. Another Strict Proctor. Okay. Yeah, and he does have the Lotus Field. So too little, too late on that, unfortunately. So we're... Oh my god. Okay. Well, I don't want him getting another one in play. If he has to ferry, he has to ferry. But it was going to be very difficult to play around that. And we've ripped 2 Wraths off the top. Main phase Deluge, okay. It's a good sign. I would think... It could be that he has another Lotus Field stranded in hand if he's doing this main phase. Like, he has a land, but he doesn't want to play it. If that's the case, he's not super far ahead on mana. By the way, everyone, let me know in the chat, if you don't mind, how the stream quality is, because I had some serious issues with my last stream. Okay, so he did have the other Lotus Field stranded in hand. And we're stifling. Okay. Yep. So, pretty brutal. We're going to shock this in and hold up the ability to make a big shark. Portable Hole, of course, also basically dead. We'll probably keep some number of them in for game 2, given the Strict Proctor. See, now the problem is if like we counter this Narset, then we are pretty naked to a Teferi. What does he have in terms of spells? He has 4 copies of Archmage's Charm, Sphinx's Rev, jeez. Commit. Yeah, I think we have to just go for this. Like, we just need things to go well. It's likely that one of the cards he took with the Memory Deluge was the Stifle last turn to get another Lotus Field in play. Hopefully he's got the same problem we do, where we have just mono removal in our hand. But as I said, his deck seems much better suited against the control mirrors. Yeah, there's Teferi. So if we don't draw an answer to Teferi, we are in pretty significant trouble. This is brutal. Not really sure what to do here, honestly. Like, Lightning Helixing Narset just seems so medium. And Shark Typhooning for one to try to hit the land to Lightning Helix Narset is also just so bad. I think we just need to say go and represent some amount of something to make his life more difficult and try just give him the last card off of the Narset and try to attack her down. But yeah, this is pretty miserable. Our hand, it was a bit of a risky keep in the first place, knowing what we were up against, but like the way we've drawn, we definitely drew the wrong side of our deck, and we didn't draw any card draw either to filter this kind of stuff away. So like an Expressive Iteration would have been great, Memory Deluge would have been great, but no such luck. 5 anti-creature cards in playing against blue-white control, so probably gonna have to take this one to game 3 if we're gonna win this match. Yeah, no fear here. He also has 1 copy of Discontinuity in the main, 2 copies of Discontinuity in the main, which function as a pretty good counter to the Shark Typhoons. So his deck is just pretty bonkers against us. I think we'll do this now. This way, if he does cast Discontinuity, he won't get to untap the Lotus Fields with the Fairy. But it's also likely that he just has some other way to kill this Shark. Our own Teferi. Alright. Okay, so what do we want to do here? I do fear that discontinuity. I just don't think there's any realistic way to play around it. We can attack Narset, or we can attack Teferi and Lightning Helix him. That doesn't seem likely to work. So I think the plan here is going to be to... Yeah, we're going to attack Narset, we're going to jam Teferi, and if that doesn't work, then we're going to scoop. You have another Shark? Sure do. Yep, so our Shark is about to get eaten. And I suppose we can portable hole it. If we jam Teferi, he's just going to die. But yeah, I think I've had enough of this one. I don't think we can win that. Obviously, we do have a lot of tech in the sideboard to help. We have 4 copies of Dispute, a copy of Test of Talents, the full play set of Sharks. I want the other Teferi. Outcome, some number of portable holes, possibly all of them. We'll take out the Wraths, we'll take out the Anger. What else is no good? The Helixes aren't great, they're just sort of fine. Unholy Heat, they're not really killing our stuff, so I'm not sure that we'll be able to enable the Delirium. Let's see, what does he have in the sideboard? He has 2 Disputes, 3 Vetoes, an Approach of the Second Sun, 1 Test of Talents of his own. Okay, so we're definitely bringing in more from the board than he is. Does he have anything else that's worth hitting with Portable Hole? Yeah, I suppose Portable Hole does deal with the Sharks. So I'm just debating between Unholy Heat and Portable Hole here. What else is no good? Helix is probably just better than Heat. I don't know that we're gonna enable Delirium to hit for 6. And what else don't we want? It's possible 1 copy of Teferi 4 is what we should cut. Yeah, I think it is our worst card at this point. Like, Portable Hold, I'll keep 1 in. Yeah, it does. It hits sharks and stuff, but I also feel like he has to play a little more carefully in game 2 and 3. Okay, 1 lander on the play, unkeepable. This is better. We're probably shipping a Teferi here, as much as it sucks. Like, I do want the Helix to be able to deal with the Strict Proctor. Okay, we'll do that. Not feeling great about my deck choice. Gotta say. Whoa, okay. When it goes to discard, we love that. So how do we take advantage? Next turn they could have Stifle Lotus Field, although they didn't have it this turn. We don't have any way to use our mana otherwise. Dispute seems kind of likely, honestly. Like, jamming Iteration into Dispute doesn't feel great. Alright. Let's keep going. Okay. I do want to keep this as a counterspell for, like, discontinuity or something if he plays the Lotus Field. Upkeep, stop. What could this be? Yeah, what could that be? What would he want to do on upkeep? I don't know. I'm gonna jam the Iteration here, I think. Yeah, that resolved super quick. So there's no Lotus Field or no Mystical Dispute to worry about here. I think I want to have Lightning Helix available. If he does jam Strict Proctor, there is no window before playing the Lotus Field to kill it in response. So killing Strict Proctor is not like a hugely reliable plan. But now we're in a decent spot where we have Archmage's Charm available for whatever he decides to play. If he decides to play nothing, so he'll probably just jam the Lotus Field here, I would think. But between like all the land drops he's missed, that doesn't actually get him a mana advantage, and we're going to be able to jam Teferi next turn. If he doesn't do anything here, we're going to get the Lightning Helix, the Proctor, and we're going to do that the moment we have priority. Yeah. It's a tough one to interact with. Nevertheless, Yeah, we're gonna get the first Teferi advantage, I think. Another Teferi. Okay. I'm really not sure if allowing that Strict Proctor to resolve by tapping out for the Expressive Iteration was the way to go. It just felt like we needed to get something going to take advantage of the opponent's mana screwedness. But maybe that was too aggressive. Maybe I was just supposed to say go. Okay. Getting done tap with the fairy is pretty nice. Does feel like there is a shark in my future. But a 3/3 shark is not the end of the world. The fairy's a big boy. Own Delusion response. I think I'm happy to Test of Talents this. We saw that there was no Mystical Dispute in hand earlier, which is the reason I'm willing to do something like this. We have... Wow. They have their own Teferi, they have Discontinuity, Commit, Veto, and Sphinx's Rev. Oh boy. Okay. And they brought in Approach. Okay, what else do they have? They still have 3 copies of Fateful Absence, which I guess makes some sense. They need a way to deal with a resolved Teferi 4. And what do we want? Certainly Narset. I think we're probably looking for the cycling land at this point. So they presumably will jam their own Teferi here. Looks like our Teferi is going to get committed. No, he's not. So I'm not sure what the plan is over there. I guess the plan is a end step Sphinx's Rev, probably to try to fix things. Let's see. I definitely want to make them do something. So let's jam Narset and basically force a counterspell out of them. Narset's intolerable for them. Veto, sure. And if we play untapped land, we will have 6 mana available, which I think is worth it. I think I do want to have double Archmage's Charm at the ready. And if that doesn't, if we don't end up casting both, then we'll be able to cast one and cycle the Triumph. I should have untapped the castle. That's a small mistake. Okay. Opponent says go, misses another land drop. We're happy with that. We can cycle again. It takes the shields down for Sphinx's Rev, but maybe that's not so bad. Like, he's shown that he has no... Actually, we can probably just protect a fairy till he ultimates. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do. Veto seems pretty good. I will plus Teferi. Okay. And we are just going to protect Teferi until he ultimates. The Lotus Field is hexproof. So we can't actually target it with a Teferi emblem. But we can deal with anything that they... anything that they play off of that mana. So, like, a Teferi emblem does not win the game on the spot, but it will make their life very difficult. Okay, so the plan here, I suppose, is going to be to stifle the Teferi minus, but I think we can fight over that. We have 2 counter spells. They have Stifle. We'll need to counter 1. They have another counter. We have another counter. They don't have enough to discontinuity. Yeah, we're just going to minus Teferi here. So hopefully they don't have second Stifle. If they do, we'll counter that as well, obviously, but that doesn't work. It will get rid of our other Dovin's vetoes, but I don't care. Cool. So let's clear the mana pool. And we have basically free reign, I think, to cast this Teferi. They have no good way to interact with Teferi emblem. It's possible that they have that. But I think that's okay. If they jam their Teferi here, obviously we just exile it in our draw step. Okay. So they have 2 Lotus Fields that we can't interact with. But, yeah, Teferi is our only legal target. This Rogran Triumph represents an instant speed way to exile anything. Let's see if we discontinuity here. Okay, so Narset resolves, which will turn off the Sphinx's Rev. We have 6 mana. Yeah, here we go. Not interested in jamming Teferi into their open mana. Sure. Let's cover the formula. Pretty good draw. Still want to keep this Triumph, I think. One of the ways we lose this game is with a Shark coming into play. But I do think I want to cast this at least. We want to do something. Teferino. That's kind of just a soft lock on the game, right? How much mana do we have? We have 4, 7. We have 8 if we took it and the land, which I think I want to do. So whatever you're going to do, better do it now. Sure. Basically cycles the Sphinx's Rev. That's got to feel pretty bad. That resolves. Let's clear the pool. I will take my card. Thank you very much. Cool. And we have enough for Cycle Triumph plus Dispute. We have Archmage's Charm. Everything is right with the world. Okay. Hey HD. Thanks for the good luck. So these Lotus Fields obviously can't do anything on our turn. Teferi's pretty sweet, and this is the moment where we can just... This is what I was talking about in the deck tech. Being able to jam this with impunity because Teferi's in play is absolutely brutal. We can do this and have 3 mana available. But I see no reason to. I'm fine just saying go pitching a land. Oh, I have to pitch 2 things. I guess it'll be land Portable Hole. We can even Expressive Iteration on their turn if we want, but we don't get to do anything with the exiled spell, so... I'll just untap here. Like, what? I don't know what the worst that can happen is. Or, not untap, we'll use the castle. Hall's pretty good. I don't think I need the other Teferi, though. And now I am definitely going to jam Teferi. Lightning Helix, sure. And this feels pretty good. I still think I want to keep this. Yeah. Another Discover the Formula, but we're not going to cast that. Tapping out, I think, is the only way we can lose the game at this point. I don't really want to go to discard either. So if they cycle a shark, it'll be for 4. So I do think I'm going to keep this in hand to deal with that. We'll just say go. And I think I'll dump Teferi and Lightning Helix. Sure. Okay. no need for anything super crazy here. Just make our land drops, hold up our counters. And hopefully those take us to the promised land. What do I not want? All of these are really good. I don't think I need more cards. I'm going to cycle this for x equals 2. It's possible they have like a stifle that will deal with this shark. Discontinuity. This, I think, is fine. So now they have enough mana to cycle a shark for 1, but we will be able to exile that at instant speed, and I think they are dead. Nice. Got there. Okay. So game 2 in the books. Now, do we want to change how we board? For game 3. I think we got pretty lucky there. Like, opponent's draw was super clunky. They missed a ton of land drops. This matchup seems super difficult, honestly. Strict Proctor dodging Unholy Heat is really annoying, too. I mean, he looks just so bad. Like, if he plays correctly, and he will, he's a very strong player, he's never going to give us the window to kill the Strict Proctor before the Lotus Field comes in play. Like, he's not going to jam it on 2. I think our sideboarding is okay. I think we'll go with this. Looks like there are some salty players, some inappropriate chat going on in the melee. Not my opponent. Just in general, someone's saying that they're getting flamed by their opponent in melee. I don't know who. Okay, so we have the Lightning Helix in our opening hand. It's possible I was supposed to take all of these out, but we didn't really have anything else to bring in. Otherwise, this hand seems perfectly fine. We will delay playing the Sacred Foundry as long as we can, I think, just because I would like to find a different red source to be able to play the iteration off of, because I want to be able to cast Charm on 3. But it's possible we will just have to play the Foundry next turn and take our medicine. But if we go, and it looks like the delay here makes me think that we're going to get stifled, like we're going to have Lotus Field plus Stifle, and we're off to the races. It's possible, actually, I was supposed to shock that fountain in. Oh, wow. I'm glad we didn't. Okay. Now I think I'm going to do this. It does turn off. Yeah, so now they're going to get the Lotus Field in. Uh-huh. God, that feels miserable. So what's the worst case scenario next turn? If we jam Narset, they can play Teferi, but Teferi with Narset in play isn't super great. If We can Expressive Iteration, hold up Dispute. I think I just want to get Narset down. Those are good spells. The worst possible... I think the worst case here is that they're going to jam another Planeswalker. And I would like to have a way to pressure that. I think that means I'm going to take the Shark. But if they had the combo on the play and all the pieces, then I don't think that there was much to be done. Okay. Are we going to get Expressive in here? Next turn they'll have 7 mana. So that's enough to dispute a Teferi. We don't have enough blue to hold up double counterspell anyway. Yeah, let's cast Expressive Iteration. If this gets Test of Talented, then I think we're okay. I want Teferi, I think. Discover the Formula just seems unlikely to resolve without the Teferi, so... yeah, let's do that. Teferi goes to hand. Formula goes back, and we'll exile the Hallowed Fountain. And I think we're fine cracking the clue on end step here. Another iteration, great. We can jam Teferi here. He will certainly get countered. I meant Teferi 4, of course. Yeah, let's just cast another iteration. A handful of counter magic. Just cast the card, draw spells. This is a tough call as well. Which should we want? Do we want Narset or do we want Teferi? I think it's Narset. We already have a Teferi. Narset shuts off their card draw. We saw that they had Sphinx's Rev. We're going to have to discard the hand size here, which is unfortunate. And we're low on the clock, too. Been playing kind of slowly. It's been a tough game. I'm just going to discard this island. Ooh, what else do I discard? I didn't realize I'd have to discard 2. That sucks. I just want the lands to cast my spells. Yeah, that sucks. I didn't realize I'd have to discard 2 cards. I thought I had 1. I'm just gonna untap. And I think we're just gonna cycle in a Shark on their turn. It's possible they have discontinuity. I feel like I'm misplaying this, but I also have like such a stacked hand that it feels like it can't be too bad. Top. Okay. Castle's a good one. That could have been one that they would top. Okay, let's... I think I want a 3/3 shark. This makes the dispute kind of face up, but my worst fear is that they Sphinx's Rev in response. And having the dispute available, even though they can pay for it, makes their Sphinx's Rev significantly worse. And we have the untapped land. So I fear shark. So I'm just going to jam to fairy here. And I'm not going to attack. I wonder how much time they have on the clock. They have 15 minutes to my 8. We go into war over this? I don't think we can win this war. So I think we just let this go. And they have a shark for 3. It would be a trade. I'm going to attack. It would be a shark for 4, actually. So that was not a great attack. Another dispute. Yeah. I'm just going to keep attacking. If he cycles in a shark, I think I actually will steal it. I think I will just go upstairs now. I think having the mana available later is worth more than just having the surprise helix here. We can jam to fairy. I don't think that's the way to go. Looks like he has an Archmage's Charm of his own, considering stealing our 3/3. He could even be considering Fateful Absence sending the 3/3 as well. He could feel the pressure. Kind of wishing now that I had made the Shark a 4/4. Looks like we're trying. Mage's Charm. I think we're gonna fight over this. And I think I do just want all my mana in play. For like a proactive to fairy or to win counter wars. This is definitely scary. Opponent has a lot of good draws. Now, if he attacks out, we can try to steal one of their 1/1s on end step, which would change the clock. But I don't think I like that very much. Probably the best draw on the deck would be Teferi 4. Escante, yeah, you got it. Ooh, that's pretty good. Yep, you can have that. So we have 9 mana. We'll see what happens here. My worry is discontinuity. If I cycle in a big shark on their end step, can I win that way? If I counter this, I'll have 6 mana left. That'll be enough for a 4/4 shark, which is not enough. If I want a 5/5 shark to threaten lethal next turn, I will have double dispute available to fight over the discontinuity, which he will have more than enough to pay for. I feel like I want to cash in the Mystical Dispute there. With the Lotus Field in play, it's not very good anymore. I am definitely concerned. Cycle in a 2/2 shark, we will have Dispute available. What do you think the odds are they have nothing? Committing the shark. If I counter this, and I draw untapped land, then the shark will still be lethal. Okay. Try cycling the shark on their end step. They have a bunch of looks to find an answer. They could have stifles. They could have any number of kill spells. So what could they have? They could have a kill spell. So in the case of a kill spell, it wouldn't matter. In the case of discontinuity, we would want to cast the Shark Typhoon now. There's no source-free speed removal. We're going to cycle this now. Fuck. Yeah. So there was no way to play around that, unfortunately, I don't think. Just a little too good. Few too many looks. Yep, that's gonna be good enough, isn't it? Yeah, so they had it all. We had no answer. Like that discontinuity probably that has been sitting there for a while, and they've been kind of trying to come up with the perfect moment to play it. Tough one. So what do we need? We need Teferi and an Archmage's Charm. This sucks. It does suck that we're going to lose this one. They have another Archmage's Charm. Brutal. Okay. It sucks that we're going to lose this one with how game one went, just drawing mono board wipe kill spell. But I'm pleased with how we fought in this one. Good game opponent. Obviously, this is a very strong opponent. Yeah, tough one to lose. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, so up against Rakdos Aggro in the 0-1 bracket. On the play, which is where we like to be. Portable Hole, pretty good in the matchup, I would think. Hand is a little awkward if we want to play the Portable Hole on one, but I think the chances that the opponent has like a Knight of the Ebon Legion are high enough that... Do I want to play Portable Hole on one anyway? I think the answer is no. Yeah, I'm going to keep this, obviously. We'll play the Steam Vents tapped, and obviously the Glacial Fortress will come in untapped. I'm not sure what I was talking about. Very distracted. You guys have me flustered. I'm not used to having this many people watching me play Magic. Sideways Monkey. So opponent has, in terms of 2-drops, they have 4 copies of Dreadhorde Butcher, and if we portable hole this Firebrand, then we will be very sad if they slam Dreadhorde Butcher next turn because we'll have no answer. So I think we're going to pump the brakes and go slow. We can represent Lightning Helix as well. If they don't play the Butcher on 2, then we will probably just portable hole the Firebrand. It looks like the plan of the opponent's deck is to jam a Rotting Regisaur with an Embercleave, which is a bit of a throwback. That was what Ken Yukihiro did back in Eldraine Standard. Yeah, are we cycling the Shark Typhoon here? It's not great. There's some chance if we don't, though, that that it'll get to chump some damage. It looks like the opponent did nothing, so Bone Crusher Giant seems likely. We're gonna cast Expressive Iteration, so I don't think there's a need to cycle this. We'll untap. Fanatical Firebrand here is annoying because it enables Spectacle for their Spawn of Mayhem. So it's possible I am supposed to portable hole this and just get the tap land out of the way. Portable hole isn't getting any better, of course. If they didn't play the Dreadhorde Butcher on 2, then they probably don't have it, period. Yeah, let's do that. Another monkey, okay. Probably not the best 1-drop monkey anymore, but still good. Let's, ooh, these are good. Whiff on the land, but these are kind of the next best thing. The question is, do we want Archmage's Charm or do we want Discover the Formula? And I think, given how much card advantage we have in the form of these Teferis, I think I do just want the Charm. And obviously we're going to portable hold a monkey. So I suspect that one of these cards is Spawn of Mayhem. And we dodged it by turning off Spectacle last turn. They had to play the Firebrand, and their turn was kind of awkward, and they just played the Blood Crypt tapped. 4-mana Spawn of Mayhem is very different from 3-mana Spawn of Mayhem. If they jam it next turn, then I think I'm happy to just Teferi minus on it. And they'll need some hasty threat. Yeah, there he is. They'll need some hasty threat to address that, which they might have, but there's only so many. And given that they played the Blood Crypt tapped, it seems unlikely that they had anything else to add to the board, 2-drop wise. So it's possible that Teferi will just stick here. Okay. That could be a copy of Spikefield Hazard. I'm wondering what's holding priority here. Archmage's Charm is a good one. We will definitely plus this Teferi, of course. We'll start there. We can cycle the Shark Typhoon for 1 as well. If they have Embercleave, then we can just counter that. Yeah, Embercleave this with this Rotting Regisaur is probably the biggest threat. I don't really want to let Teferi die, so I think the plan here is just going to be Shark Typhoon for 1, chump the Regisaur. If they cleave it, then we can Archmage's Charm the cleave, but then they get to attack with the Hive as well. I guess that's the worst case. It's a little scary. Maybe I'm supposed to just play Narset, dig for a board wipe, but if they have the cleave, which makes sense given the way the game is played out, tapping super low kind of sucks. Nah, we're gonna play Narset here, I think. We'll see what we find. Find like Lightning Helix, that'd be awesome. Yeah. I'll take Wrath of God. Just Blood Chief's Thirst, you say? Wow, okay, that was probably the best case scenario for us. So now I'm just going to jam the charm here, I think. Right. Next turn we'll have 6 mana. Yeah. We're a control player. We protect Teferi. In this house, we protect Teferi. Okay, he's dead. So effectively that charm saved us 7 life. Start with Narset. If we find Teferi 4. Okay, another shark. Okay. In that case, we can Wrath away this Regisaur. It seems like they have nothing better, but I kind of like leaving it around for another turn. Make them discard to hand size again, or make them discard to it again. It's kind of flying close to the sun. You can also just play Teferi minus. That doesn't seem super great. We can Expressive Iteration. If we hit a land, then we can have Charm nothing. There's no way to protect Teferi if we play him, and I did just say we would protect Teferi. All right. We'll play the Expressive Iteration here, and I think we're just going to Wrath away this Regisaur if we can't find anything better. Lightning Helix is great. It does suck that we whiffed on the land. I'm just going to take the Lightning Helix to hand, I think. And we could be greedy and try to Expressive Iteration again, but I don't think so. I think I want to put this back. We'll exile the Narset, and I'm just going to rat this board. Make it difficult for them to draw with their castle. Okay, so they're not playing the spawn either. That's pretty great for us, because now we get to play Teferi plus untap, hold up Lightning Helix. Yeah, we're thrilled with this. Yeah, no real reason to play the untapped land here, I don't think. I think we have this game more or less in hand. If they power up the land, we will kill it with Lightning Helix. If they play the spawn, we'll counter it with Archmage's Charm. Next turn, we will probably slam the Shark Typhoon, maybe? I don't know. Undecided. I was definitely pretty scared. Ooh. Alright, well, we'll counter that. Bone Crusher Giant Stomping Teferi is okay with me. Another Lightning Helix. Okay, this is pretty sweet, right? So now we get to play... We can slam Shark Typhoon, have double Lightning Helix up. I don't think it gets much better than that. Okay, so let's make sure I untap my mana correctly. We need 2 red sources and 2 white sources. Red, red, white, white. Okay. I have definitely tapped incorrectly like that before. Sure. I think I want to keep the Lightning Helixes available to deal with the manlands, so I think I'm actually going to untap, and I think I'll Teferi minus on the spawn. Jam another Shark. Hold up 2 Lightning Helixes. That's pretty good too. Yeah. There's still a stick there, which does make me suspect, like Spikefield Hazard. We've kind of thought that from the beginning, but they haven't killed Teferi with it yet, so like, Fatal Push? Fatal Push. Okay. If they do nothing, we can Archmage's Charm on end step, make 2 3/3s. This seems fine. It will unfortunately kill Teferi if we kill it. But that seems okay to me. I think we're turning the corner. We'll let it attack first. Right? Right. So Teferi's dead, but we are past such trivial concerns now. We have a hand full of spells. They're playing Fatal Push instead of Bone Crusher Giant, which is strange to me, but I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. We can try to Archmage's Charm into a Teferi here. I don't see any reason. Drawing with the castle here is extraordinarily aggressive. It's kind of cute. We could make them draw 2, and they take more damage, but that's too cute by half, I think. All right, so we Lightning Helix them twice. They go to 11. We have 2, 6. Not quite enough. Okay, so we'll just draw 2. How bad could it really be? Oh, actually, I forgot. We have 3, 6, 8. Oh, they've got to be dead, right? 11. Yeah, they're dead. Yeah, we have the 2 Shark Typhoons. Of course they're dead. They're super dead. You are so dead. I was trying to do the math with 1 Shark Typhoon, and I think it still was lethal with 1. But 2 obviously is a little difficult for them to overcome. Okay, so... Game, thank you. Okay, so opponent has 4 copies Dreadhorde Butcher, 4 copies Fanatical Firebrand, Knight of the Ebon Legion. So, like, everything except Regisaur and Spawn of Mayhem are allergic to Anger of the Gods, so we definitely want that. In the sideboard, they have 3 copies Thoughtseize, 2 K Commands, 2 Feed the Swarms, and 2 Fries. Sure. I think I want Unholy Heat. Bringing in Unholy Heat at the same time as bringing in Rest in Peace seems a little odd. A little odd. Cage doesn't really turn off anything except Scrap Heap Scrounger, so I'm not super interested in bringing that in. What else could I realistically want? I think Discover the Formula is a little too slow. Teferi Time Rattler not as good as he used to be against Embercleave, because obviously he used to like turn off the discount. You couldn't cast it during combat, but now they can, so it's not as good as it used to be. I think against them, as long as we get to the late game, we're okay. We just want to be lean and make sure that we get that far. 2 copies of Rest in Peace, I think, is actually a lot. I don't think their graveyard does enough for them to be super worried about that. It does also turn off Dreadhorde Butcher. Like, when it dies, it will, it won't, Rest in Peace will stop the damage from triggering. I think on the draw, this Teferi is quite slow. I think I'm fine cutting this Teferi. No, we'll keep 1. We came here to play Teferi. Let's play Teferi. How likely are we to do that? 2, 8, 18, 20, 28, 30%. So yeah, we'll keep this. Opponent mulligans too, so I kind of like taking it to him. Especially given that they're bringing in a bunch of Thoughtseizes. Mulliganing against them seems kind of bad. And there's our white source. Life is great. So maybe like Dreadhorde Butcher here. Just Raw Dog Bone Crusher Giant, sure. Oh, shoot. Did not mean to try to cast a fairy there. Just hold up Lightning Helix, say go. Dreadhorde Butcher. That's kind of weird. Why would you play Dreadhorde Butcher there instead of the Bone Crusher Giant? So, like, we can slam Narset here, but then if they play Bone Crusher Giant, we're kind of naked. I kind of like just countering whatever their play is, honestly. And then we play Narset the following turn and then Teferi the turn after that. And if they don't do anything, then, yeah, I'll just probably draw cards with the Archmage's Charm. Yep. Oh, another one. I mean, yeah. Well, now we're guaranteeing being able to play Teferi on an empty board next turn. Anger of the Gods, Life is Sweet. And we're going to represent Lightning Helix with these stops. If they power up the lands and attack, it's not enough to kill Teferi. The monkey is fine. My arena settings are... I just reinstalled Arena, So I need to do this, otherwise I won't be able to set the stops correctly. So heads up play from the opponent would know that they don't have the Lightning Helix. Instead, they're just attacking Teferi. This feels pretty good. I don't know what they could have for 3 mana here. I'm just jamming Narset. Yeah, looks like they have nothing. Let's just keep developing the board. Oh, it's Lightning Helix. Oh my god. I don't think I want to Lightning Helix this Firebrand here. I think I want to hold it in case they power up the land. We have a 3/3 Shark available. Casting a 3/3 Shark into an Anger of the Gods seems kind of sad. So I don't think I want to do that unless absolutely forced. If you want to keep pinging Teferi for 1, this is fine with me. If they do this and then they jam Spawn of Mayhem post-combat, the plan probably is going to be to Teferi minus on the spawn. And then, I guess, Anger to clean up the Firebrand. I don't know. It's not great, but we're drawing so many cards that I'm confident we'll find an answer. Are we cycling in, what do you have? What could this possibly be for 5 mana? Call the Death Dweller, Embercleave, Spikefield Hazard, Fatal Push, I guess. Fry? But Fry they would definitely have killed Teferi by now. Noxious Grasp, they definitely would have killed Teferi. K Command makes some sense. I'm just untapping. We fear no K Command here when we're drawing this many cards per turn. Ooh, that's pretty good. Is it though? Like, we can Portable Hole, kill the Firebrand, which was going to die to the Anger of the Gods anyway. Yeah, I'll just take the Shark. If we slam the Shark Typhoon, we will have Lightning Helix available. We'll start making Sharks. How bad could this be realistically? They have Feed the Swarm, I suppose. Okay, fine, I will not slam the Shark. I should have definitely used the Teferi mana there, though. Small mistake. Killing Narset. Okay. They don't have much draws cards. They must think they have an answer to Teferi. Like Bloodchief's Thirst? The way the game has gone, Bloodchief's Thirst makes some sense. Oh, Call the Death Dweller. Call the Death Dweller. Everything here will die to Anger. Sure. So we can Deluge or we can Shark Typhoon here. I think I kind of like just starting to get him dead. Yeah, let's just flash in the 5/5. How bad could it be? No Fatal Push. Let's start with Anger, right? No, we'll start with a plus. Portable Hole also not bad. Okay. I don't know what their hand is. I suppose it could be Embercleave, Embercleave, Embercleave. But that's fine. And we'll have 7 mana if we shock in the land here. Is that worth anything? Not really. Alright, we'll play this tapped. And here we go. Hey, Hassel. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Sorry, I'm not paying so much attention to chat right now. This is a tournament that I do want to do well in. But it's good to see you. I'm glad to have you here. Okay, we're hiving it up. That's dead. That's so dead. That's so very, very dead. What's going on? We're 0-1. We lost to the previous champion, Izzet Dragon, in round 1. But it was a hell of a match. I will upload it to YouTube. It was probably one of the best matches of Magic I've played in a while. Yeah, whatever. I don't think this matters. I think they are dead as dead can be. I have this match in the bag. The opponent's a streamer who's only been playing 3 months. Oh, I don't know who my opponent is. The deck does seem questionable. But yeah, I don't like discounting my opponents anyway. I always want to assume that they're good. Sure. Unholy Heat with Delirium enabled. How bad could that be? I already made our land drop for turn, so there's a sequencing issue there, but whatever. And sure. We'll pitch the island. And I think we have a Lethal Shark coming. And we have a Teferi Emblem that we're threatening. And I don't think that this can go too terribly wrong from here. Okay. The good old post-combat activate the hive. Okay. You got it. No fatal push. No fatal push. And we got there. Cool. Okay, good game, opponent. That went a lot smoother than round 1 did, that's for sure. Yeah, this is the kind of matchup that we were trying to prey on with this Jeskai control deck. I feel like it's a lot better matchup than the blue-white control matchup was in round 1. Round 1, game 1 just wasn't a game of Magic. We drew 3 Wraths of God, an Anger of the Gods, and Portable Holes against like all of their spells. But like obviously you see why they're in the deck now. Like game 1, we dealt with all their early creatures. Game 2, Anger of the Gods was an MVP, and we didn't even have to cast it because we weren't under a whole lot of pressure until like turn 5 or 6. Okay, good game, opponent. On to the next one. Okay, on the play against Phoenix, and wow, what a hand. So I did say we wanted to be able to deal with their early plays, and this does that. I mean, it doesn't do great against them actually putting Phoenixes in play, but we do have the Memory Deluge to eventually find answers to that. We have lands. We can deal with Darcy's. We can deal with Sprite Dragons. Not much else, realistically, but I think this is still a little too good to throw away. And I think I just want to get my tap land out of the way. Spire Bluff Canal, sure. So no 1-drop. Now we're kind of hoping that they play Sprite Dragon, so we actually have something to spend these portable holes on. They will eventually get cashed in for something, but if the opponent just executes their early game plan of getting Phoenixes in the bin and killing us, then we don't have a lot in the way of answers. And they just say go, and we find Expressive Iteration, but no red. So we needed to draw a red source or a castable spell, or any untapped land, actually, and we have missed on all of the above for 3 turns, so that's a little inconvenient. Maybe the hand was a little too ambitious to keep, But, like, I think we were really likely to draw what we needed here. Okay, this is fine. Now we get to cast Deluge on end step and hopefully fix all of our consistency issues. I'm not sure what the opponent is doing here. Like, they're trying to build up a critical mass of spells, I suppose, to bring the Phoenixes back all in one turn, which I guess makes some sense. Looting. Sure. We'll tank a little bit just to make, like, obviously we have no interaction here, but, like, I want to make them worry that we do have some sort of interaction. The fact that they waited to do this makes me think that they do have a realistic chance of reanimating some Phoenixes here. Trying to figure out if the Consider was a good sign. I don't know that you can read too much into that. How many Phoenixes have they been? Just one? I think it just means that their hand is relatively average. Okay, so hopefully they're just bringing back one Phoenix here, and they invested a lot of work into getting a 3-2 in play. No, they don't. Why on earth? They did just cast two spells, right? It was just Looting and Consider. Wow. Oh, it's Lightning Helix. Oh my god. But no red, and no land. Lightning Helix is, like, fine. I guess it's... I think I take one of each. Oh my god. That's wild. Okay. I guess. We did find the Anger of the Gods if we ever get to cast it. Okay. That's not going to bring back the Phoenix, right? Because they're only casting these two spells? Oh no, it's also targeting the Faithless Looting? Okay, sure. Sure. The Arena UI is a little weird. Okay, so they're going to get back one Phoenix. And we're going to Wrath the board. And hope they can't do it again. Like, this is really sad. Oh my god. Okay, change of plans. I think what I want to do is I want to cycle this Shark Typhoon for one and Portable Hold the Sprite Dragon. I think. So what if we do that? We Portable Hole the Sprite Dragon, we block the Phoenix for a turn. They power up the Den. Hit us for 4, we go to 9. Alright. Okay. Whoa, holy shit. Clicks with 20 gifted subs. Thank you. That is really something. I appreciate you very much. I'm sorry I'm in the middle of a game, so I can't be like super interactive right now. But wow, that is that's a lot of support. I really appreciate it. Um, okay, we're gonna portable hold this Sprite Dragon, and we're not gonna love it, and we're gonna play this tapped. And we will see. If we draw untapped red, then we can talk about casting Anger. Okay. Well, now hopefully we draw untapped red. We're going to take 3, possibly 5 here, depending on if they have another 1-drop. Sure do. So the board's getting wiped. We have to block something here. And I'm just not sure we can beat this creature land, unfortunately. The creature land and the Brazen Borrower. Oh my god. Are we dead? 7-10? I think we're dead. Jesus. So what happens if we portable hole lightning helix? Clears the board. We go to 6. They hit us for 4. They have a flash 3/1. We need to draw untapped red if we want to cast the Expressive Iteration as well, and it can't hurt us. Importantly, oh, this sucks. Okay, I guess. Yeah, we're not dead. Literally. And I think we just wait. Go to combat first, so they don't have a chance to recur the Phoenix, and so they won't have a chance to activate the Den of the Bugbear in response. Yep. Go to attacks. Didn't really want to have to do this. Now we're kind of in the same spot that we were last turn. Narset's good against them, but I think it's too little too late. What do we need? We need an answer to the Phoenix, and we need an instant speed answer to the Den. I don't know what that would look like. I think it's got to be 2 spells off the iteration here. But even that, we don't have the red. I don't know that there are outs. I guess it has to be Lightning Helix. And if it's going to be Lightning Helix, it'll take us to... Yeah, if it's going to be Lightning Helix, then I think the play here is to Fairy, right? Like... Yeah. Obviously, we're dead to like any haste threat under the sun. Expressive Iteration digs deeper for Lightning Helix, but I feel like if we find Lightning Helix off of Iteration, then we're just not making any progress. Yeah, okay. There is no universe where they don't attack here, right? So I'm just going to scoop this up and go to game 2. Yeah, awkward draws. I think the keep was perfectly fine. It was risky, obviously, but I think it was perfectly fine. And now we get to bring in stuff. Anger of the Gods is pretty good. Rest in Peace, obviously pretty good. Cage is great. I don't know how good Teferi is against them. Obviously, he used to be the nut, turning off Finale of Promise. What are they going to bring in of their own? They have 3 copies Dispute, 2 copies Ether Gust, 2 Smoldering Eggs. They have a Braid to deal with our Cage, I guess. They have Chandra 4. Okay. Yeah, I mean, cheap interaction is always good. I don't think I really want the vetoes. Like the counter spells that we bring in don't exchange super profitably with theirs. Test of Talents is an interesting one though. I'm not sure. So what's the cut? I think Teferi is bad. I think Discovers are too slow. I think I want to trim a Teferi for. Four Disputes against them honestly seems like a lot. Like, their blue spells, for the most part, are not ones that we need to counter. Like, they're creatures that we can just kill. So maybe we can trim a few of the Disputes. We have a ton of removal. For the same reason, like, the Archmage's Charm is not, like, super great. Maybe we want to trim those. Two more cuts. Test on looting? I mean, I don't think so. Like, our counterspells are already bad against them, and test hits even less. I don't know, maybe I'm supposed to cut one, on the play, maybe I'm supposed to cut one Unholy Heat and a Wrath. I'm really not sure realistically. Let's go with this. I think the plan against looting is just to turn off their graveyard. We have 3 cards in our deck that do that, and we can dig for them. And there's one. We'll keep. I don't think I want to jam Cage on one. House Historic. Historic is crazy. So much powerful stuff going around. We played against like 3 very, very different decks so far today. Yeah, I don't think I want to cast Cage on one. I think I just want to get this into play tapped. Next turn we'll be able to Portable Hole plus Cage if that's what we decide we want to do. It is what we want to do. Ooh, Lightning Helix actually. Nah, Portable Hole doesn't hit enough. Lightning Helix hits their man lands, hits a bunch of stuff. Somewhat fearful of a Braid, but if we're making them, like, they only have 1 copy, and we're making them find it. And if they do find it, then it's not so bad. Ugh. Can't draw lands, unfortunately. This has been an unfortunate series of draws. I don't want to let the Sprite Dragon grow out of range of Lightning Helix, which could happen next turn, so I think we just kind of have to do this now. As much as it sucks. And hopefully we can just find our untapped land. Untapped land is great, obviously. It'll let us cycle a Shark for 1, give us a jump blocker, it lets us hold up Archmage's Charm. But obviously there is some chance we just never draw land for the rest of the game and lose. Alright. I'm gonna hold up Lightning Helix rather than try to hit my land drop with Shark. Again, my biggest fear is that their stuff outgrows the Lightning Helix. Sorry if you guys can hear those dogs barking next door. If they do nothing, then obviously we're going to cycle the Shark end of turn for 0. Okay. That's pretty good. Neither Cage nor Rest in Peace turn off the growth from that Crackling Drake, so that's going to hurt. Obviously, if we had had untapped land, then we would have been able to counter that, so... We did find it. Alright. We're going to shock this in. We're going to take a hit from the Crackling Drake if that's what it takes. Otherwise, we will cycle the Shark for 1 end of turn. Looting is fine. looting just straight card disadvantage with the cage in play. There might be some world where we're supposed to actually use the Archmage's Charm to draw cards. We're supposed to Helix that. I don't think so. I think we're supposed to cycle the Shark and hope they play something else into... Yeah, I guess them filling up their graveyard is not the end of the world because we have the cage in play. So I think the plan here is just going to be to stall with the Shark, make the 1/1. We found our land. We found Narset. Narset is gas. Okay, so I think the play here now is going to be Narset and don't minus. And if they invest a bunch of like haste creatures in killing her, then Anger of the Gods all of a sudden looks pretty good. Because if we Narset minus, they'll just be able to kill her. I guess there is some chance they have Mystical Dispute here, which would suck. But they're going to Mystical Dispute whatever play we make. There's no censor, right? Right. All right. Yep. Okay. And next turn, we should, if we draw untap red, we'll be able to Anger plus Helix to clear their board. That's rough. That's going to be tough. One thing at a time. Yeah, okay. Shark Typhoon. We have some options here, right? Like we can steal the Darcy on their turn. We don't have Delirium, right? Instant Enchantment, Planeswalker. Yeah, we don't have Delirium. So it'd just be a 1/1 for us, so that doesn't seem great. We can cycle in a Shark end of turn, try to kill Chandra, but if we do that, then we're taking a boatload of damage. I think we're just trying to stall. Yeah, I think we're gonna make a 1/1 Shark. This match has not been great. Yikes. Okay. And if they have a counterspell, then we just lose on the spot, right? But hopefully they can't pump the Sprite Dragon over 3. Oh shit. So this is 14. Yeah. So 12, 15. Now we don't have a great way of dealing with the Crackling Drake anymore. Fortunately, it's exactly lethal. I was hoping we could Lightning Helix to Chandra. Alright. Let's target this. If they have a spell, then we're dead. But this at least gives us outs to steal the Darcy to block. Yeah. So we have to do it like in combat before attacks, or they'll just kill it with Chandra and kill us. Alternatively, what? Like if we... Is there anything we can dig for with Archmage's Charm that would keep us alive? There isn't, right? Wrath won't do it. We don't have enough mana to dig for that and Wrath. So I think that's gotta be it, and that sucks. Yeah, I mean, this sucks. I mean, Phoenix obviously a pretty good deck. Oh, we're dead to the Reminap runes. Let's see, can we... we don't have Delirium. Yeah. Okay. Good game. I mean, that sucks. But, like, we did stumble pretty hard on spells in both games. Okay, so here we go. We are on the play against Mono Red Madness. We are up against Lady of the Crease, also known as Nicole, also known as Jim Davis's partner. I'm very excited to get to play against her. This hand obviously unkeepable. This hand not significantly better. Like, can we realistically go to 5 here? I don't think so. Not with Expressive Iteration. So the question is, do we put back the Teferi or do we put back a Charm? I think putting back Teferi is the way to go. Like, we're going to want card draw. Heart of the Cards. Yeah, you're a little late. Like, this is pretty sketchy. Opponent is having no trouble whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Okay. Library. Exile. And the dream, of course, is getting to be able to cast this Anger of the Gods next turn. We can try to be a little greedy. We can try to, like, Lightning Helix. Especially knowing that this Phoenix is going to come back at some point in the future. That's not totally unreasonable. So just, like, Lightning Helixing the Channeler might make some sense. Narset also pretty insane against them, too. I might just jam Narset next turn, depending. If Nicole draws, like, looting or something, yeah, it would have been nice to have Narset in play here, of course. Now we probably need to Anger. This is a little too much. Yeah, now, definitely. Okay. We whiff on land again. Uh-huh. 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 Wow, they're making us do it the hard way. I think we need to Expressive Iteration here. Like, we have some options, right? We can Archmage Charm, take the Courier. Um, we could Narset. Letting the Bomat Courier attack again just feels so bad. I think I need to do something to deal with it, but Archmage's Charm and letting them sack the Courier in response is just such a blowout that I think this is what I have to do. I found land, but no red land. I considered which land to tap. I figured we had more red sources than blue, but maybe that was wrong. Yeah, okay. Brutal. Okay, we'll take this, I guess. Play this tapped. And your go. Still some good draws in the deck. We could find like Wrath of God. We're not like totally screwed here. What did they find? Fiery Temper? Oh boy. Actually, I guess this doesn't go to hand, so they won't be able to discard the Temper if they draw it, or if they choose it. And like, don't look now, but like, if we get to play Teferi here and plus and hold up Lightning Helix, then that's pretty great for us. That does seem like the way to go, right? And then we can Helix the Den if they attack with it. Yeah, we're doing that. Are we firing up the Den? Looting seems okay. What did they hit? They hit Unholy Heat and they hit Looting. How close are they to Delirium? Sorcery, creature, land. So they can sack the Courier and kill Teferi. Like, it'll give them Delirium for Unholy Heat. I don't know. She's in kind of a tough spot, but I feel like all of her options are good. So, Pillar of Flame. Okay. All right. And we kill the Courier, then Unholy Heat will kill Teferi. If we don't kill the Courier, then Unholy Heat will kill Teferi. This is tough. There's no way we ever get him to tap out either. All right. We'll make him cast it, I guess. We'll see if they tap out. If they tap out, then I'm sorely tempted to kill the Courier. Okay. In that case, I think I want to kill the Phoenix here, because at least we can cast Archmage's Charm to kill the Courier if that's what we decide we want to do. Wrath of God also not bad. That's pretty good. So we can take a portable hole, we can hit the courier, force them to discard. They will activate the den and attack probably the Narset. We can also take the portable hole, hit the magmatic channeler, turn off their card advantage, and then cast expressive. Yeah, I think it's got to be the hole. And I think I want to turn off this card advantage. And they can just hit me with their best shot next turn. And hopefully we can just fight our way out of this. There is a world where we can just jam the Shark Typhoon and hopefully get there. They're not attacking with the Den. That's interesting. They're not attacking Narset, which is also interesting. Which makes me think that one of these cards is a temper. Oh boy. Yep, sure is. Double temper. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I might, depending on what we draw, I might be down to just jam the Shark. Phoenix, just raw dog Phoenix. Okay. How many counters on this other one? Okay, this is fine. If we draw on tap land, we can Wrath and have Archmage's Charm available, which seems great. So I think rather than jam the Shark, I am just going to cycle this for 0 to ensure that that happens. Teferi. Okay. Okay. We're grinding, we're grinding. Yep. Take 4. I will draw 2. Discover the formula is outstanding. Okay. So we have 8 mana available. I'm going to start with the Teferi. Yeah. Trying to find like Lightning Helix or something. We have 4 mana or 5. Is there a significant difference between 4 and 5 here? Not really. I guess there is, right? Because if we Archmage's Charm into Lightning Helix... Yeah, I'll want some white. So if they fire up the Den, then I think I will just draw with the Archmage's Charm. Unholy Heat. I don't want to lose to Fairy. I really don't want to lose to Fairy. If we counter this, then Den of the Bugbear gets to activate. Okay. Fairy's dead. Attack for 1, alright. Looting, yeah, this is definitely scary. They hit a Walla and a Temper, okay. And another Walla. Oh no, wait, it's still just the one. Yeah, it's pretty brutal. So we need to find another Wrath. Which we can do. We have a bunch of card draw. Does have to be literal Wrath of God. Everything else is too small. Ramanap runs, yeah. Bomat Courier. Interesting. I guess the plan here is to Ox. She just doesn't want to discard her hand. So do we counter this Ox? We must find Wrath. If we find Wrath and let the Ox resolve, they'll have 3 cards in hand. Discover the formula won't be enough next turn to find a Wrath effect on its own, so we'll need to dig pretty deep. How many Wraths do we have? Oops. We have 2 left. I guess double anger will also do it. If we find 2 of those. Okay. Found the Wrath. We have Charm, and we will be able to discover the formula next turn. Probably have to counter whatever they do here. Power up the Den. Okay. Bomat Courier. We're going to draw a boatload of cards. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this resolve, and I'm going to steal it. Okay. And now we need a pretty good Discover the Formula. But we also get to attack with Bomat Courier and draw from our deck that way, even if we somehow whiff. It's a lot of land. Okay. We can Narset dig for Lightning Helix. We can Teferi dig for nothing. Guy like Narset dig for Helix. Found it. And we're just going to say go. No fear. I think we're happy to make this trade. Yeah. It's turning off their looting and their Ox. How many counters on this? One. That's so much land. Alright, we'll start by minusing Narset, I think. Discover the formula, pretty good. Teferi also pretty good. Yeah, let's start with Teferi 3. He's Teferi 3 again. Send Darcy back. It's Lightning Helix, oh my god. Alright, looks like we may have stabilized. Alrighty then, here we go. We have the token activation, or we can Helix plus cycle the Triome. Go move this down here. Bomat Courier I'm just going to kill, I think. Yeah, Narset means that they won't draw off the Ox if they play it. That's a lot of stuff in the graveyard. But hopefully we can find like a board wipe or some kind of effect like that. Let's start with a plus. Unholy Heat, I guess, is fine. Archmage's Charm seems pretty good. Don't think I want Portable Hole. We'll exile this. Plus Teferi. And this cannot come back this turn. Okay. So we've kind of stabilized a little bit. I also very badly need to use the washroom. Just not a great spot to be in for during the tournament. They just say go. Sure. That seems really good. Okay, so 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're just overwhelmingly ahead here. Another Teferi. I think I want this just for just to use my mana, create a big shark. All right. Oops. Well, I meant to attack, but it doesn't really matter. We're gonna have enough for lethal all in one swing anyway. And opponent did not cycle the Seasoned Pyromancer on end step. Okay. Unholy Heat on Narset. I will counter that. Yep. Yeah, this is pretty convincing. I just want to make sure I get there without punting. How are we doing? We are 1 and 2. We had one hell of a match against the champion from the last Stream League in round 1. Did very well. Still lost in game 3. Game 2 wasn't really a match. It was a pretty big mismatch. Round 3, the deck misfired pretty badly, and here we are in round 4. We're up against Nicole, which is kind of sweet. But yeah, we are 1 and 2. We need to go 3 and 2 to make top 16. We're already out of top 8 contention as far as I can tell. But top 16 will get us invited back next time. So that's what we're trying to do now. I probably did not need to be nearly so cautious, but I also really, really need to pee. So I'm just being as cautious as I possibly can. I will bolt for the bathroom as soon as that happens. I will be right back. Okay, we are back, and we are boarding against Mono Red Madness. Rest in Peace seems really good against them. Don't know how I feel about Veto. Cage, how does Cage do? How does Cage play against them? Not great, actually, right? She has 3 Rolling Vortex in the sideboard, 2 Chandras, which have kind of gotten us before. A Hazoret. I mean, it turns off Ox. Turns off the Managorger Phoenix. I guess it's better than nothing. Discover the Formula was not super inspiring. Portable Hole, I think, is kind of important against the like Magmatic Channeler stuff. I don't know how I felt about Teferi. I think I'd want, just looking at this, like, I think I'd want the extra Narset on the board versus the extra Teferi. I haven't been super impressed with him. Anger was MVP. That we would not have won that game without it. 3 more cuts. I don't like cutting the Teferis just because our 4-drop slot is lacking. Maybe I'm just supposed to cut these. I don't know. I feel like I don't like Cage either. Especially with 2 rests in peace. Alright, let's see if we can win. We've had a lot of hands like this. On the draw with an answer for the Dragon's Rage Channeler, I think we're supposed to keep. Opponent mulls. We like that. Mono red Madness hurt more by mulligans than most decks are. There's the Darcy. Given that they mulliganed and their hand is probably kind of awkward, I think I do just want to shock this in and deal with it right away so they can't fix their hand. Okay, that's decent card advantage. It's not a bad 5. And the temper. All right. I mean, as 5-card hands go. Oh my god. It's pretty good. Given how bad we need red mana. Oops. I am just going to cycle the shark for 0. Like, if we draw, like, red, that's fine, too. Hello. That's a pretty good draw. Memory Deluge, rest in peace. Great combo. Another Walla. Okay, so hopefully this Wrath just ends the game. Hazoret. Can they play Hazoret? It'll be close. Do they have the mana? Hazoret's a significant problem. Oh, they took it. Uh-oh. Oh, they're going to dig for the land, and they didn't get it. Okay. I feel like you would... That feels like a digging for land channeler? Okay. Alright, this game got significantly better now that they can't play Hazoret. That's the only copy they've got. A Walla and a Channeler, that looked like? No, was it just a Channeler and looting? Alright. Whatever. Wrath of God. Game has a very different feel to it if they got that Hazoret in play. Luckily they didn't. This is just... Well, it is a Mull Drifter. They rebuilt pretty well. Okay. Okay. They could rebuild from this. Let's see, do they go after Teferi? It's pretty good. They'll probably crack the ruins here, I would think. No? Okay. Other ruins. Okay, so before they get to attack with the courier, I'm going to see if we can dig up a lightning helix. So we can take Anger of the Gods. Like, they're going to get these 2 cards off the Courier. If those are creatures and they replay them, we're really going to want the board wipe. I think that's just better than the counterspell. Oh, whoa. What? Sorry. I thought I was still sharing my screen. I guess my Discord stopped. Sounds like I'm the feature match. Alright, that's pretty good. Alright, so I guess this is just going to be Anger of the Gods cycle. I hate it. Ugh. Come on! Okay, well, at least we can attack her down. Vortex, yeah. I wonder if they cast that. They do. Oh my god. What a tilt. Okay. I don't think we can win. Portable holes, fine. Sequence that wrong. Might just be dead, unfortunately. Like this Ramanap Ruins is going to be a real problem. They're going to attack with the Den. Hey, Evil Empire. It's good to see you. It's not going super well. I think we're just dead to these Ramanap Ruins. Like, we need Helix off the top, and even that's not good enough. We need to win our last 2 matches to top 16 to be able to get invited back for next time. We won game 1. It just felt like the match. It felt like the whole match. Unless you're talking about when we wrathed them, but like then their post-wrath play was Season Pyromancer. And they just drew 4 cards. Alright, going to game 3. Okay. Definitely, I feel a little unfortunate there. Thought the P-break was the win? No, the P-break was during sideboarding between games 1 and 2. So, I mean, Rest in Peace did quite a bit against them. Those Season Pyromancers would have been way worse if they had been able to recur them from the graveyard. We also did really flood. They drew a ton of gas. Holy shit. Okay. I think I'd rather have on the plays. I think I'd rather have the Teferis than the Memory Deluge. Memory Deluge doesn't play so nice with Rest in Peace, of course, as we saw. But probably still just rather a Shark Typhoon than the second Teferi. Okay, let's go with this. Okay, let's see. Narset's really good. If they have Dragon's Rage Channeler on turn 1, then we're kind of sad. But I don't think we can send this one back. They mull again. Okay, turn 1 looting is not so scary. Unless they have, like, Walla Walla. Just one. One Walla we can handle. Rest in Peace is a good draw. Okay. Vortex is definitely irritating. I think they're likely to be able to kill Narset, so I'm just going to try to cash in. Lightning Helix seems good. Yeah, she did her job. She got us a card, saved us 3 life.
Announcement received.
So they're holding up the Rolling Vortex, so we can't gain life off of the looting, or off of the Lightning Helix. Which I think is fine. We can just make them waste the mana. And we can also cycle the farmland. It turns off the life gain, but the wall is still going to die. Now that they've pumped the mana into it. Sure. They're stuck on lands. We love it. We have too many lands. We don't love that. Portable Hole's pretty good. Do we want to Portable Hole the Vortex? Or do we want to scry with the castle? I think our play next turn is pretty much scripted. So I actually kind of like casting the Portable Hole here. Saves us 2 life. We don't have to shock in this land. Sad Darcy with no Delirium. Another Roiling Vortex, sure. Teferi, no. Alright. We'll send Darcy back. We have flooded a lot these games, but luckily we have this Discover the Formula that should solve all of life's problems. Hey, Astrals. How are you doing? Curse the Gods is pretty good. We can even do it at instant speed if that's what we decide we want. But it does let them draw, fix their stuff. We'll do it at instant speed. This is possibly greedy, but I think most of what they could do is add to the board, and Anger will hit anything they add to the board. Oh. 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 Yeah, that can't have been pleasant. Is there a reason to do this now? I guess so. If we see if we want to play a land untapped or not. Good old Unholy Heat, Rest in Peace combo. We could still lose. I mean, Ramunap Ruins represents damage. The Rolling Vortex is a ticking clock. That's a problem. That's a good draw. So we'll have a counterspell for when that comes back. We do need to consolidate a little bit. This Rolling Vortex will eventually become a problem. It does turn off our Lightning Helixes, so our life gains aren't really great outs. We probably want to find another 4 mana Teferi. That one we can just kill with Unholy Heat, that's fine. If they had Hazoret, they would have played it. That's the only thing I really care about countering, I think. I guess they could have Chandra. If they do, then I will just play other Teferi minus on her.
Announcement received.
Jesus Christ. I mean, I guess we're killing this. Are also low on time. How do we kill them? We can have manlands. We can go face. We can make big sharks. We can let their own Rolling Vortex kill them at this point. We're actually ahead in that race. Yeah, it was a nice spot for the life gain when they tapped low. I was pretty convinced that we would, especially when they had the Ramunap runes, that they would probably tap out at some point. I should have. Oh, they'll go to 8. Okay, yeah, I meant to do that. I was going to say I should have made the shark on my own end step, so I could have made a 9/9 shark, but they're at 8. So I don't need a 9/9 shark. 8/8 shark is good enough. Sad looting. Obviously, rest in peace means that they can't even hope to kill this shark, so I think we're home free. I don't know what could kill us from here. What had they been? I guess like temper, temper, temper. Yeah, you have another looting? Looting into temper, temper would be pretty sick. Nope. All right, close one, but we got there. Good game. That was a lot of fun. A lot more fun when you win. Okay. Opponent stumbled on mana in games 1 and 3. We definitely needed that. But overall, I feel like the matchup is pretty good for us. We're pretty good at hating out graveyard stuff and dealing with early aggression, which is all this deck ever really wants to do. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, we are on the play against goblins with a pretty flexible opening hand. I'm pretty happy to keep this, I think. Yes. Now, I don't think I want to cast Unholy Heat on anything they could play on turn 1. Right? Right. So I think the plan here is just going to be to get a land tapped. We will play the Steam Vents to keep the dream of casting Archmage's Charm on 3 alive. Skirk Prospector, sure. So Skirk Prospector plays nicely around our Lightning Helix, but we will still be able to Unholy Heat something. We'll probably Unholy Heat whatever their next play is. They do have, like, this Munitions Expert is a flash threat as well. Like, there is a world where they can just play a land and say go against us. If that's the case, I still think I will Unholy Heat the Prospector, because it minimizes the amount of damage that they can do with it. Yeah, it looks like that is their play. We're going to do this anyway. It means that they won't be able to sack it in response to the Lightning Helix. And it does take them a turn away from Muxus as well. Portable Hole, an unfortunate draw. So what do you think? We can cast Expressive Iteration, but we're like 100% sure that they're going to play a Goblin next turn. I think I'm down. So just play this tapped and hold up Lightning Helix, I think. Yeah, and then next turn will be Expressive Iteration plus Portable Hole. Nice hand? Yeah, I think so. So this can touch the board. I wonder if there's any reason to kill it now. I mean, I guess they could have another Munitions Expert, but it's also possible that they just... This is also a target for the Portable Hole. Okay, let's just say go. Hopefully they play like a 3-drop or something that we can Helix. We do want to draw a counterspell for the Inevitable Muxus. That is going to be our Helix target. Okay. Let's tap like this. Portable Hole, Helix, Sulfur Falls. I think I like Helix to hand. does suck that we're gonna have to give up on this land if we want to play either of these things this turn. Maybe the tap was bad. Yeah, okay. We'll take the Lightning Helix to hand. Exile the Portable Hole. Play the Fortress, and play this hole on the Expert. Yeah, lots of people in here. Yeah, CGB raided after his stream ended, which is pretty wild stuff. This is probably the most people I've ever seen in this channel before. But yeah, welcome to everyone. Goblin Chain Whirler is a pretty good target for Lightning Helix. Oh boy. I mean, we've got to, right? But if we Teferi minus on the Chain Whirler, then they replay it and it kills Teferi next turn. So maybe we do have to be a little more patient in this. So we can... What do we do? We're definitely helixing the Chain Whirler. Let's start with Iteration, I think. That's pretty good. Yeah, let's take Teferi to hand. Exile the Fortress. And let's just wipe their board. Like, the cleaner their board is, the more likely that Teferis are going to be able to take over the game. We do need to find a counterspell for the Muxus that seems likely to be in their hand. But they also don't have any haste givers, so even if they find Muxus... actually, they have 4 copies of Battlecry Goblins, so I guess they do have haste givers in that way. Why is Time Raveler 4 mana? Oh, you've missed some stuff. He was banned for a while, but now he's back. This is a pretty weak play. Let's just send him home. I guess... Yeah, so now this is pretty sweet, actually, because Teferi will stop them from casting this 2-mana Goblin, right? And we found our Wrath? Sweet. Time Raveler's 4 mana because they rebalanced him to that. He's now 4 mana and does a little less than he did before, and he's still pretty good. Alright, so this is going to kill Teferi 4. That's fine. Looking good indeed. Am I into wrathing this board? Or do I want to play a Teferi? Teferi will live. And there's some chance that we find a counterspell. And they have to commit to the board. If they play Muxus, then we can wrath the following turn. I don't feel super threatened by this. Let's play Teferi. How bad could it be? Sure, that's fine too. Thanks for the good luck wish, Bear. It was nice seeing you. Let's see. We swing in with the monkey. What's their next turn going to be? Well, okay. So that's pretty good. Let's see how they swing. Ideally, they would leave Teferi alive. I don't expect them to do that. They're going to be able to rebuild the board with the Pashalik Mons after we wrath it. So they gave us the option to save Teferi, which I'm honestly inclined to do. If they want to sack this, then that's fine. Okay. So let's start with iteration, I think. I think I need to find another Wrath to deal with their rebuilt board. So let's do that then. Actually, that's not what this card does, is it? Yeah, no, this just goes upstairs for 1. Okay, so their board is empty, and we're just going to be able to slam Teferi next turn. So there's no Muxus Rip here that does it. All right. The safest thing is just Teferi minus this, right? Right. Is it though? I don't think so. No, let's plus. That's just a coward's move. We will not have enough mana to do anything useful here, I don't think, so we'll just play this tap to get it out of the way. I'm gonna bluff having Lightning Helix here. Is Untapped working for anyone? It should be working. And they have Den of the Bugbear. Okay. I suppose we start with iteration here. Oh, it's Lightning Helix. Oh my god. Yeah, so that's gonna go to hand. All of this is really good, honestly. Yeah, let's just draw some cards. Hey, Christmas. Untapped overlay not working, and the bot is not in chat. Okay, I am sorry about that. That is unfortunate. Alright. Presumably they'll power up the land, we can kill it with Lightning Helix, and then we're mostly home free from there. Like, we'll have Lightning Helix and a counterspell if they do Rip Muxus. Are they considering sacking this? That's absolutely wild if they do. Okay. So before they attack, we'll Lightning Helix this. Sure. So this will hit Teferi for... This is a Goblin. This will hit Teferi for 3. If we counter this, he'll only take 2, and he'll still live, which is appealing to me. Okay. Keep her going. We're going to try. All right. Well, that's pretty good. I do think I want to hold this Lightning Helix for a haste threat or a manland. If we do this, we won't have enough. Will we? Ah, screw it. We didn't come here not to play Teferi, right? When games are again and you are in the control seat, I think you need to speed it up. That is probably true. But I'm having so much fun. Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to. I don't want to lose to some random crap. But fine, if you insist, we'll actually swing at stuff. This is where they Muxus us, right? And we have the Wrath. Okay, this is for 4. Okay. We're in front of a lot of CGB viewers, right? Like, they're used to seeing players play with their food. Obviously, we have Teferi in play. We fear no man. And we got there. Cool. Holy crap, clicks for the second time today. Another 20 subs. Wow. I appreciate that. If you guys got a sub from Clicks, he is a great supporter of the DGen team in general. Supports me much more than I think I deserve for the amount of work that I do. I really appreciate that from him. So say thank you if you got a sub, and let me see all those emotes that you got from him. Okay. So we are up against basically like slower goblins. I think the sideboarding here is fairly clear. We're mostly pre-boarded against them. We have Cage to bring in against Muxus. Unholy Heat, I guess, is fine. Discover the Formula is okay, but I still think it's a little slow. Deluge, I think, is also a little slow. In fact, maybe I would just want the Deluge period instead of the Discoverers. We need to make one more cut. What should it be? On the draw, Teferi is really slow. I'm not opposed to cutting Teferi 4. Okay. I think I'm going to cut Teferi. Nah, realistically, it should probably be... Yeah, no, it's going to be Teferi. Narset's better at digging for the board wipes that we're going to need. And I do like having one Teferi for like the lock state of where we can plus Teferi and hold up the Wraths. And I think that like Narset against like traditional mono red goblins would be good. Or would be bad because it's too slow. But the Rakdos version I think is much slower. Like they're just running a bunch of mopey mid-range goblins. So I think being able to... We have time to cast her and dig for the Wraths that we need. This hand is very slow. We need to draw pretty well, I think, if we keep this. Let's see what they do. Opponent mauls. Let's keep it. We draw one land, then the Archmage's Charm unblocks the rest of us. Unblocks the rest of the game for us. Snoop. There's the land. Okay. Don't really like the idea of Snoop finding Krenko on top. Battlecry Goblin, not great unless they have a board for it already. All right, we're going to Portable Hole here. We're going to play our tap land. Content keep. Well, CGB's chat is truly here. Like a boss. All right. Okay. That's a pretty good card against us, honestly, but we do have the Wrath. Battlecry Goblin is going to come down next turn, and I think I want to allow it because I want them to just commit as much of the board as possible ahead of the Wrath of God, and I do want to make sure I actually hit the land for the Wrath of God. So let's just cast Iteration here and go slow. Do I want... Actually, I might just want both of these lands instead of the Narset. I think that's true. I think I do want both lands. So we'll take the Foundry to hand. We'll put the Narset back and exile the Hollowed Fountain. You have been here the whole time, Hassel. You are one of the OGs. Okay, I didn't expect Chandra to come down. That's a significant problem. All right, so we're taking 5 here. We get to Wrath the board, and they have a Chandra in play. We'll be able to play Teferi the following turn, and hopefully minus on the Chandra, and hope they run out of gas. Another War Boss, that's tilting. We playing like Sacrificial Teferi here? It's kind of tough, right? We've plus Teferi and find a Wrath, then we still need to deal with Chandra next turn. I guess Teferi will... he will die. Okay, so I guess we need to play Teferi, deal with Chandra, find a Wrath naturally. It's not great. Right? Is there an argument for minusing on the boss? No, it's got to be either plus or minus on Chandra. Alright, Teferi. We hardly knew you. Alright. See if we can find, like, Anger of the Gods or something. Opponent was too smart. They didn't play into my Wrath. We could have held up the Archmage's Charm for the Chandra, I guess. Let's see. I mean, I don't think there's another play here besides try to Wrath this board. I think we're going to dig with the Archmage's Charm for the Anger of the Gods, because even if we can live through another turn without finding it, I still think that we're probably going to die, and that's just not good enough, unfortunately. It's going to be 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're dead on board. I guess there's some world where we can steal one of the 2/2 tokens and live. It's not inspiring. I guess they can sack it in response, though. Yeah, I think we're dead. Yeah, so this is going to be 7. And then we're dead to any zombie dying, or any goblin dying. Hitting Helix. Puts us to 4. I don't think that is enough, unfortunately. Is there anything we can draw off of Teferi? I think the answer is no. We can Teferi and Lightning Helix minus on something. That's still not good enough. All right. Off to game 3. Not on the play? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think I do buy cutting this Teferi and bringing in another Shark. I think it is just slightly better at that spot on the curve. I don't think I want to cut all my 4 drops. I think I do want that Memory Delusion there. Okay. Let's just do this. Let's just win. Is that allowed? Is that something we can do? Okay. That's pretty good. Opponent, despite being Rakdos, has no Thought Seizes. So that's nice for us. Play the Hollowed Fountain. Again, we want to keep as many blue sources in play as possible in case we draw Archmage's Charm. Snoop and land off the top. I want them to commit a little more, I think. I don't want to just spend an anger on the Snoop. Den, alright. Okay. That's enough for me to want to anger, which means I don't want a Shark Typhoon, I think. Actually, I do want to get deeper in the deck. I do want something to be able to do after we cast our Wraths, so this, this Shark isn't going to do much, but... Actually, I suppose it's kind of fine. Can use it as a chumper. They could have Chandra, I guess. Chandra's a serious issue, but I don't think one that we can realistically play around. Alright, let's make him play a little more to the board and Wrath it. Great. Yeah, so Narset whiffing obviously hurts quite a bit. They have 2 dens, which are a problem. They found War Boss off the top, like a boss, and Muxus cometh. See where they go. If we can keep Narset alive, I'd love to, but I doubt they'll allow it. What are we doing here? So we can save Narset technically, but it won't protect us from, or we won't be able to draw a card off of it, so I think we're just saving our life total a little bit. And I do think, yeah, Muxus is going to be able to dodge anger when it comes down. So I think we're going to have to do that. Let's start with Expressive Iteration to try to make some progress. We'll be able to anger no matter what. Our Mage's Charm is pretty good. Let's take that. I do think we need to wrap this board, unfortunately. So if you have Chandra, then you got me. Okay. This is acceptable to me. Do need to draw something, castable. Would be nice. Is there a world where we let this Muxus resolve? Because even if they hit the Battlecry Goblin off of it, it won't be able to give anything haste this turn. And we'll be able to Wrath that up. So Archmage's Charm to draw cards actually is kind of appealing to me. So we can find the Lightning Helixes we're going to need. I kind of like that.
Announcement received.
Now, obviously, if they have Muxus, then we're pretty sad. And that would make sense, given how the game is played out. Yeah, I think we've drawn like 3 spells since the start of the game. All right. So let's dig for Lightning Helix before they get to attack. Nope. Okay, this is just ridiculous. I think we do have to do this, unfortunately, or we'll just die to these. Yeah, I mean... definitely tough. What do you guys think? Land off the top? I think land off the top. Oh, wow. Nice. I think we're probably dead. Yeah, definitely dead, unfortunately. Okay, I think we have to wrap this just to like maintain the fiction that they could be dead. And like now what we need them to do is we need them to cast Muxus. But if they power up the land again, which is what they've done for the last several turns, then obviously we're just screwed. Yep, all they need to do is power up the den, and if they do, then we will hit them with the GG and be sad. Yep. Good game, opponent. That's a tough one to lose. All right. Well, we finished not with a bang, but with a whimper. And definitely wish we could have gotten a little more, a little further. Definitely would have liked to have been able to come back for the next time. We might still be able to play. I'll talk to James, see if I can get an invite for the next StreamLeague. But in any event, this was really fun. And it was a lot of fun having you guys all here. Let's get this stupid defeat thing off the screen.